How can you get your house listed on the market here in Michigan? Let's get into it. So, for the first step, you're going to want to consult with a realtor. This is important because you want to know what is a good price to actually price your home at, and that's actually dependent on a few market variables, such as is it going to be a highly competitive market? What is the season of the market? What are homes for selling around my area? What's the square footage? How many bedrooms and bathrooms do you have? These are all very important factors that you're going to want to consult with a local professional on to give you your best value, because ultimately at the end of the day, pricing is going to be one of the main things that buyers are looking at on a house. You want to make sure you're not pricing yourself too low where you're not getting the value, but also at the same time, the biggest problem I've noticed is when you price yourself too high. When you price yourself too high, you're not going to get the traffic that you're looking for to get into your home and drive up the competition. So finding the right sweet spot is very, very important, which is why we recommend chatting with a realtor. Chatting with a professional, you're going to want to set a plan for yourself. So, what do I mean by this? You're going to want to make sure that making this move is the right decision for you. There's a lot of steps and a lot of processes that go into moving. So, really, what we're looking to do before we actually schedule a photographer to get inside of your home is we want to make sure that the home is clean and prepared for the photographer. One of the main questions we get is, do you think that I should do updates to my home to maximize my value? And that answer is really dependent on what your situation is and what you're looking for in your home sale. So, what do I mean by this? What I mean is, if you have all outdated carpet, more than likely we would recommend that you get either the carpet pulled out and refinish the floors or get new carpet installed. Because at the end of the day, you want to make sure your home is to the point where if someone walks in, they can see themselves living there. That's going to be one of the main selling points. So I have a full list of different sellers, repairs, and updates that most buyers are looking for in a home that I think can really help you. And if that's something you're interested in, I'm going to set a link in my bio in the description of this video. You'll just have to go in, fill out your information, and an email will automatically be kicked out to you. Now, just check your spam folder. Sometimes it does end up in the spam, so be careful and make sure that you are checking your spam folder if you don't think you receive anything. But we have a full document, and I'll show it here as well, of all of the different fixes and home maintenance items that you may consider before getting your house listed on the market. So that being said, let's get back to the process. Let's say we've done the real estate consultant, we've done the home repairs, we've cleaned up the home and have it ready for photos. All right, so now the next step is to get a photographer into the home. Now, some realtors will just take the photos with their phone, and it comes out really sloppy, looks really bad. Our team hires a professional photographer who we trust to do a great job. It comes at no expense to the seller. This is something that your realtor should be taking care of for you. And if they really care about you, they're going to get a professional photographer out there because they want to make sure you're getting the highest quality photos, because ultimately that's what the consumer is going to see at the end of the day on Zillow and Realtor.com and the likes. So after a professional photographer, now the next step is to import all of the documentation and photos into the MLS. So if you don't know what the MLS is, it's a multi-listing service. So basically it's a place where all brokerages, all agents can go into one central software to see every single listing that's on the market. So this is going to be great because the MLS is where places like Zillow and Realtor.com and all of the like get their information from, and they pull all of their data typically from the MLS. So you're going to want to make sure that the MLS listing looks good for you, because ultimately at the end of the day, this is what the consumer is going to see. Now, it's been a process leading up until this point, because you've cleaned your house, you've done home maintenance, you've met with the realtor, you got the photos done, and now really the next step is you're going to plan a date to go live on the market. So a realtor will be able to help you figure out what a good date is. I typically recommend doing a Thursday or a Friday, just because that's when typically most people are available to see homes. And after you go live on the market, you're going to be able to start your showings on the listing date. So if you go live on a Thursday, showings start on Thursday. And the hopes is that on Thursday, drive traffic to your home over that weekend to maximize the opening weekend. Opening weekend is going to be super important, because that is when the opening weekend is going to be when the majority of buyers and consumers come through your house, because that's when it's peak interest. They just saw the fresh listing off Zillow. They liked the house. It intrigued them enough to go and schedule a showing, and now they're going to go check it out. But after rounds of showings, sometimes this takes 3 days, sometimes it takes 3 weeks, you will receive your first offer. And after you receive an offer that you're comfortable with, the terms you're looking for, you go ahead and you accept that offer. That's going to be the next step, is accepting an offer This is something we do advise that you go over with your realtor with. They should read with you basically line by line to make sure everything makes sense, because once you sign this document, typically don't really have the option to back out because you have signed legal documentation. So you will want to make sure that this buyer and lender is someone that you're going to want to move forward with. Having a realtor who has experience and is able to vet these people out is very important, because we can't tell you how many times you think you got the right buyer and then that person gets cold feet, or you think you have the right lender and that person can't get you to the closing table. So having the right people and the right teammates to work with is very important to get to the closing table and make sure your home sells in a satisfactory way. After you accept an offer, really the ball is kind of in the buyer's court for the next few days. So the next 5 to 7 days is what's going to be called an inspection period. Now, when you bought your house, you likely had an inspection period, and when you sell your house, the buyer will likely have an inspection period as well. So during this period, the buyer will go through your house. They'll hire an inspector to come out to inspect the exterior, the interior, the roof, attic, typically the sewer and radon of the home. Now, as long as everything goes well with inspection, the next step is going to be for the buyer to order an appraisal. And during this time, an appraiser will come out to your house to assess the value of the home, just to make sure that the home's value is where we say it is in the contract price. And once we get past appraisal, it's pretty much smooth sailing, where at that point the lender and the buyer will have to do things on their end, and you pretty much get to sit back and hang out until we get the clear to close and schedule your closing for your home. That's pretty much the process here. I'm going to share with you a free seller process guideline as well as the free home maintenance. So these are items that you can keep and you can download, have sent directly to your email. And if there's any questions on anything I can help out with, definitely reach out to me. You can book a call and a free consultation down in the link in my bio. If you go to my page and then go to About, you'll see a link that you can copy into your URL, which will schedule a call with me for 30 minutes. From then, I can get to meet you. I can see how I can help you sell your home and make it a success. So thanks so much for watching. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share this video with someone who you think might help. Take care.